everyone. Thank you for joining me today. Apparently, hand holding can either irks or it can be a visual metaphor that can't be beaten. This seems to depend on who is doing it. Let's get into this. Under normal circumstances, certain wing of the UK media and especially the tabloids would not be worth paying attention to. But because of their connection and their wining and dining with the UK royals, they have been given certain legitimacy that they normally would not carry. And as Anna Paskinik, who was in that inner circle, has come out and said,
the royal family manipulate the media. I'm talking about the print media, the British print media, in a way you simply would not believe. So, for example, in the mainstream press, it is verboten to write a piece in support of Meghan and Harry.
Wait. So when you say, they must say this narrative about Meghan and Harry, I mean, you mean this in the way that journalists all sort of move as a pack. Right? It's not an actual dictum.
No, it is an absolute dictum, spoken and unspoken, that the newspapers do not want and will not print pieces that are wholly positive to Meghan and Harry, and you cannot write anything negative really about William or Kate.
But this is because they're monarchists at the core?
No, this is because of the deals that have been done between the palace and the editors of these papers. Okay. If you look at the Telegraph app, you will see 4 or 5 pieces in absolute eulogizing praise of the Princess of Wales. And then the chances are on the same day, every piece about Meghan and Harry is negative. They literally take a baseball bat and bash this couple to pieces. And it is because of this that I have completely changed my view towards Meghan, but also towards Harry.
And so, because of that dictum, and because Harry and Meghan are interesting people, and because of how they're being dehumanized in the press, we pay attention. And now we see that scenario is often played out in the media, where they do not have to do both jobs in one article. They can have a separate article or separate articles, and sometimes multiple articles just bashing Harry and Meghan. This brings me to 2 separate articles about handholding written by Judith Woods, one about Harry and Meghan specifically, and one about the new Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, that brings in Harry and Meghan unnecessarily. So the first article was back in February 15 of this year, when Harry and Meghan had stepped out to the 1 year to go anniversary of the Invictus Games in Whistler, Canada. She wrote in part, quote, "It's not the gesture per se that irks me, rather the context. Whenever I walk down the street holding hands with my husband, I like to think of it as a signal to the neighbors that there will be no shouting or door slamming because we're quite evidently loved up. Today, at any rate, would we hold hands more often if we were a global brand seeking to shape the future through business and philanthropy like Meghan and Harry? Dear Lord, I hope not." End quote. So take a note of that versus what she has written just this July 13th, about the new Prime Minister and his wife holding hands. Her title is, quote, "The politics of holding hands as a visual metaphor, that image of the Starmers can't be beaten," end quote. And she went on to write about it, and one person she said, "I don't find it odd." And this same Judith Woods, says, quote, "Neither do I, as it happens. After more than 3 decades together, my husband and I often hold hands, sometimes spontaneously, and if I'm honest, sometimes mischievously. I insist on it when we leave the house so all our neighbors can see how irritatingly loved up we are. Despite the shouting, me, and the door slamming, also me. They used to smile indulgently through sometimes gritted teeth until I let it slip at a street barbecue, so they're wise to. But hey, it feels nice anyway." End quote. So this is what she's writing July about herself. It no longer irks her, but she is now plagiarizing and lying at the same time. In talking about a UK Prime Minister, she had to bring in Harry and Meghan, while, of course, being very nasty about their hand holding still, calling it, in her words, gulch and needy rather than heartwarming. That's what she said about Harry and Meghan. And I'm looking at Harry and Meghan, and I look, and whenever they're together and they hold hands, it looks so natural and they look connected. Unlike when I see other royals trying to imitate the same gesture and it falls flat and they look unnatural, and you see one spouse flinching away from the other. And of course, we have seen where what the UK will say lesser royals, the Tyndalls, they're doing this over the top affectionate thing where his hand is literally up her bum, and they do not write about this. I'm just looking at how desperate they are. And they're trying to put the UK media, the UK royals are trying to superimpose their desperation on Harry and Meghan. And it's not working, and it will not work. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. Please leave your comments below and talk to you soon. Bye.